Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Beerlay beer review. Today we have the Gulpener UrHop. It is a India Pale Lager. Last week we did an India Pale Ale, so this one's got to be different, right? We're going to be talking about that today on Beerlay. So according to Gulpener, the UrHop is actually an unfiltered beer. On the side here, they're actually advertising that you should probably turn it upside down once for a better taste. So we're going to do that very carefully, and then we're going to open the beer. Oh, look, and you can read it now. You can actually read what it says. Look, that's just going to stir up all those nice little yeast and true particles in there. That's looking nice and lovely. Gulpener Brewery, located a whopping 18 kilometers from my house in Gulpener, Netherlands, opened in 1825. Nowadays they produce over 100,000 hectoliters of beer, which isn't really that much on the whole scale of things, but they do offer 16 different types of beer. But they only sell regionally. And by regionally, I mean I can't get it in Aachen, 18 kilometers away. This whole regional idea, they're very proud of it. They only use local ingredients. They are environmentally conscious. They even produce organic or bio beers, the UrHop being one of them. This means that they have very many prestigious environmental certifications. But does that mean that the beer is really any better? Just a heads up, there are going to be some political opinions in this video. And I guess that's all I got to say about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So, first impressions, this is a very foamy beer, but I guess that's what you get after shaking the damn thing up for a little while. It is unfiltered. Getting a little bit of like soury yeast smells in there. Not a lot of fruitiness, kind of a little bit. Let's try it out. The flavor profile is a lot more hoppy. They're not fruity hops, and I think the lager yeast in this thing is really kind of mellowing out a lot of the more typical IPA style flavors, a lot of this like fruity hoppiness. I'm not exactly sure what type of hops are used in this thing. I know where they come from. So let's get a little bit of background on this beer. It is an IPL, an India Pale Lager, and I am going to do a video at some point on the difference between ales and lagers, but lagers are bottom fermenting, whereas ales are top fermenting, and there are different flavor profiles that kind of come along with that. This is a little bit more of a heavier beer from the taste, and that is more typical of lagers. You get more like bready flavors instead of more like fruity or sweet flavors. But this thing is dry hopped, which means that they add hops in after the boil in the fermentation tanks, which gives it a little bit more aroma and more of the like, it's pretty much just aroma. But there's not a lot of like that hoppy characteristics in the smell. It's more yeasty, I would say. It's not a bad beer. I have to say, out of 5, we're getting like we're at like a 3, 2.5 to 3 stars out of 5 on this thing. It's not bad. That's not great. But if we turn the bottle around on this side, you will notice right here it says biologisch. And for our English-speaking friends like myself, that means organic. This is one of the 3 organic beers that Gulpener brews and sells. That means that everything is organic and biological, and there's no chemicals and pesticides and GMOs and all that really harmful and bad for you crap. By the way, this is where the political opinion is going to start swimming on in here. Alright, so let's talk about organic and bio. Just FYI, organic and bio mean the exact same thing when I'm talking about. I'm going to use them interchangeably. So if you go to the Gulpener website, it's in Dutch, so you're going to have to do some translating. You're just going to see at their About Us history page just piles and piles of sayings of how environmentally friendly and organic and stuff like that, and they're local and regional. It's a very kind of a hipster, hippie type of a brewery, I would have to say. And I'm not trying to bash on hippies or hipsters or anything like that. I'm not even trying to say that I'm also not environmentally conscious and wish that the environment should be protected more than it is. However, there comes a point where you just gotta be like, all right, you guys are just taking it too far. And I think these guys have reached that point. So let's talk about bio and organic food in general. First off, there isn't a set definition of what makes something bio or what makes something organic. The general definition is that there aren't any pesticides or chemicals used during the growing process, which is great. You know, you don't want to be eating chemicals and stuff like that. However, the pesticides kill bugs, and I really don't like eating bugs. Well, the argument to that is that the farmers will sort out the bug-infested food and not sell it in the supermarket, so you won't have any. It's just as good as regular food. Correct. However, you are then throwing away a lot of food that could have been bug-free if you just used pesticides. Then you're also getting less on your return. You've invested money as a farmer into planting food. A portion of that food has to be then thrown away because this is not good to sell, and you are decreasing your yield for the cost in which you have invested into growing that food. This increases food prices, and this is also why you will see organic and bio food is more expensive than normal food. It is the exact same quality food. It is just more expensive. Bio or organic food also does not mean it is more healthy. It does not mean that it is better for you. There's not any more vitamins or nutrients in this food, whether it's bio or not. A bio banana is the exact same healthiness as a non-bio banana. You're simply paying more for something just because it says bio or just because it says organic on the label. Bio and organic is 110% marketing, nothing more. Because of those high food prices, you also wouldn't be able to supply the world with enough food. If you were then trying to sort out and not use chemicals and GMOs and whatnot to produce food, we would literally as a species not be able to produce enough food to feed the population of the world. Because of pesticides, because of fertilizers, because of GMOs, we are able to feed everybody. So Gulpener is also a very regional brewery. They like to buy and sell locally, and there's nothing wrong with that. I agree you should drink local beer. I think that you should go to farmers markets and buy stuff from them to try it and support the local economy. However, this does not assure that you're getting the best quality. Gulpener says on their website that they don't buy any products from the world market. They only buy local grains. They only buy local hops. And there's a reason that Cascade hops and Saz hops and Centennial hops don't come from the Netherlands. There's certain regions where certain things can grow, and because of that, that makes it its special flavor. And if you're limiting yourself to just one region, you're just limiting yourself to better quality elsewhere. You know what I mean? For example, you can make your own desk from a tree that's in your garden, right? You can chop it down, you can saw it up, you can drill it and nail it together. That doesn't mean it's going to be as good of a desk if you go to an actual furniture builder that built furniture in some other country and then shipped it to you. Just because it's local doesn't mean it's better. Just because it's organic doesn't mean it's better. You know what? I think that if you can actually make good beer or good furniture or whatever locally, and you can sell it and be successful, you know what? You have a business strategy right there, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, if you're trying to be a successful business, I think you're just making it harder for yourself. Just a disclaimer, I'm not bashing on Gulpener just because I think that their just entire business practice is shit or anything like that. I think, you know what, we should try as people to conserve resources and to try and reduce our footprint on the environment. I have nothing wrong with that. However, by limiting yourself and what you can do as a brewery, I think you're limiting yourself on good beer. However, they're not producing bad beer. This beer isn't my favorite, the UrHop. However, in 2014, Gulpener won a silver award at the World Beer Cup, which is like the World Series of beer. So they are actually producing good beers as well. I think there's something kind of missing in this thing. It's like I said, it's okay. It's not great. As I drink it now, we're about halfway done. It is getting a little bit more bitter than it was at the beginning. Maybe it's because some of the sediments are getting a little bit more concentrated. I don't know. Come down to the end of this thing. So I said I wanted to do this like super special Michigan beer next time for episode 21. However, I'm thinking of another kind of a special for episode 21, and I'm thinking that we're doing super special Michigan beer on episode 22. So stick around for that. Follow me on social media, Untapped, Twitter, subscribe, comment, like, all of that. And we will see you guys next time on Beer Light. Peace.